Switch 2 pre-orders were a massive success, and that is why $80 games are here to stay. Well, that's the opinion of a writer over here at Screen Rant. Obviously, after the Switch 2's pre-order success, I'm convinced $80 games are here to stay. Let me know in the comments if you agree with that statement. I do not agree. I refuse to accept $80 games are here to stay. Obviously, game development's getting a little bit easier with all the tools, Unreal Engine, etc. and etc. So, you know, bringing Unity, there's a bunch of great tools. AI is now a thing where it's making it easier and easier to make stuff, make content, make games. Do you really believe that games are just going to have to go up in price to $80, $90, or $100 and beyond? I refuse to believe it. That's my opinion. Let me know if you disagree. Obviously, Screen Rant doesn't disagree. They say $80 games are here to stay. We're going to get into that in this video, but first, click the like, subscribe, click the bell icon. It really helps out a lot. And also check out our 24-hour stock tracking stream. If you haven't secured a pre-order yet, get over there, hang out. We've managed to help people cop a bunch of Switch 2s already over the last couple of days. Pre-orders are slowing down, but we're expecting more pre-orders to come in this week, so stay tuned to the stream. Come say hi. We've got a great community in there talking about Switch 2 all day, every day. And hit the like on the way through. And yeah, it'll play an alarm when the Switch 2 comes back open for pre-order at all the major retailers, so it might help you. It might be the key to helping you beat bots and scalpers, right? But back to the article. Obviously, this writer says $80 games are here to stay. I don't think that is 100% accurate. Let me know if you disagree with me in the comment section. I mean, I think we could all agree Switch 2 pre-orders were a success, at least up to the point of the fact that people could buy them, if they could buy them. There was also a stock issue, obviously, with tariffs. China having like a 200% tariff, just about. So obviously, there is a stock issue. They tried to stockpile Switch 2s in the US since February. So they did have a big pile. We knew there was going to be a pre-order rush. We knew they were going to sell out really fast, and that's what's happened. Is that a sign that it's the fact that it's sold out already? Is that a sign that it's successful, or is that just a sign that they've not got much stock to begin with? I don't know, but let me know what you think. So let's see what he's got to say. So no matter how many new features or exciting games were shown alongside the Switch 2 announcement, its initial price tags are still a hard hurdle to ignore. Even if the console itself was easier to justify given its massive improvement in hardware and features over the original Switch, the concept of $80 games is a tough pill to swallow. I'm not the only one struggling to accept the new prices either, as most Nintendo streams and media have been flooded with upset fans demanding a price reduction, but Nintendo's recent sales prove it might not matter. I think it's more of a case that people are just excited for the Switch 2. I mean, people have been hyped up for the Switch 2 for the past 3-4 years. Every year that comes along, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, there's been rumors and rumors about the Switch 2 launching that year. It came to pass, it never did. And finally, here we are faced with the Switch 2 after years and years of speculation, rumors, hype, and we finally have it. All right, I think it's just been a lot of pent-up excitement and hype for the Switch 2. I think that's why it's successful. Everyone feels like they need to get a Switch 2. Even if they don't, people want to get a Switch 2 just because it's new and we've waited so long for it, right? And this might be controversial, but I would say that it's not the revolution we thought it was going to be, right? There's not a massive flurry of first-party games that are making us go, oh my god, we need a Switch 2. There's not a bunch of new features that make us want to, you know, just rush out and buy this thing. Granted, the mouse control is really nice. Obviously, being able to control games with a mouse, that's a pretty neat thing. Good for Nintendo for doing that. I'm a PC gamer, so I appreciate that. The game chat feature, the webcam is pretty cool. The UI, unfortunately, is going to be staying the same. I'm not a big fan of that. It's obviously going to support higher frame rates, 120 hertz display. It's going to have a bigger display. It's going to have new magnetic Joy-Cons, all that sort of stuff, but there's nothing there that's making us all go, oh my god, this is going to be the best console ever. It's a safe upgrade, I would call it, for Nintendo. It's not revolutionary by any means, but obviously with how long it's been since the original Switch came out, how much of a success the original Switch was, I think everybody just wants something that's new and cool, right? I don't think people are buying it specifically because, like, oh my god, we could buy games for $80. Woohoo! I don't think this pre-order success is a sign that we're all ready to accept $80 games. I think we're all in a little bit of denial. Let me know if you agree in the comments. I don't think it's a sign that we're ready to accept $80 games. I'm not. I'm sure you're not. Maybe you are. Who knows? Maybe you're just like, you know, game prices have been too low for too long. I want to spend more on games. I want to pay more for less, because I have too much money to spend. I like burning it. That's why I've got a roll of $10 bills next to my toilet, and I like to use them as toilet paper. Are you that rich? Let me know in the comments. But even with former Nintendo PR managers citing the Switch 2's reveal as an ongoing crisis for the company, Nintendo has shown no signs of reversing its decisions. Combined with the already premium cost, I was disappointed to see how many smaller fees were also included in the Switch 2's pricing strategy. While I'm still hoping most of these prices will be reserved for few big budget titles as opposed to being the new standard, Switch 2's early success could be even worse for the fans in the long run. Regardless of its pricing scheme, the Switch 2 is selling out fast. Again, combined with the low stock, combined with the hype, the 4 or 5 year hype for this thing, it's pretty reasonable to understand why there's low stock, right? It's not because people are just absolutely going crazy over this thing, although they are, but that's not the only reason. It's selling out, right? Now, despite Nintendo's promises to avoid the original console's massive undersupply problem, Switch 2 is quickly selling out virtually across all digital retailers and storefronts. Even if you were able to get a hold of a highly coveted Switch 2 pre-order, and if you haven't yet, check out our 24-hour stock tracking stream with the alarm. There's no guarantee that you'll receive the actual console by launch day, on top of some pre-orders being suddenly cancelled due to supply shortages and also scalper and bots and multiple duplicate orders, right? People have been trying to buy 5 Switches from Walmart, and obviously they were all cancelled. Given that Nintendo knew the Switch 2 to be a popular based on previous statements about its expected demand, I was more than a little disappointed to see Nintendo repeat the same problems as before. And obviously the Switch 2's lack of supply has also resulted in the same harmful scalping practices I've come to expect from recent console releases, but the most surprising aspect was how popular the Switch 2 still is, even with massively increased price tag. Even though I wasn't fully convinced by the claims of a Nintendo boycott, or that the Switch 2 wouldn't still be a success, the sheer speed at which the device sold out sends a clear signal to both Nintendo and other publishers. Does it? Does it really? Is that a signal that we're just itching to pay $80 for games? No, I don't think it is. The cost of games has risen drastically over the years, microtransactions and DLC. I would say the price of games hasn't risen dramatically. I mean, it was at $60 for a long time. I mean, if you go back to like the 80s and stuff like that, they were charging over $100 for certain games anyway back then, and those were like NES games. So, I mean, $60 has been a pretty stable number for games for a long time. Obviously, we've seen games be as low as 50, 40, depending on the content in the game, if it's a remake. It's been pretty stable. And I think, yes, inflation's went up, but you know what's went down? The cost of developing games, or at least the tools that you need to use to develop games. We've obviously got newer game engines, we've got Unreal Engine, we've got Unity, we've got a bunch of really crazy game development tools that make it easy, even for people that haven't developed games before. They can now make games, right? A lot easier than they could have before. People that would have never have seen themselves as a game developer, writing code for days on end, troubleshooting, etc., creating assets. You can really just use AI in one of these new game development tools to whip up a quick game in no time. So I would say the easier game development's got, it's kind of offset the price of inflation, right? And I think that's the reason games have been pretty stable for the most part over the past 10 plus years. But what has grown, and I will agree, is microtransactions and DLC. We've seen a lot more live service games where, you know, you pay your $60 or $80 for a game, or Ultimate Edition or whatever, or $100 for some games. And then you've had to buy DLC, expansion packs. You've had to buy, you know, skins and skin packs and all sorts of little DLC bonus packs alongside the game. So game developers have been finding ways to make that extra money through microtransactions, the bane of our existence. That has gone up, but as far as base standard game prices, they've been pretty standard or pretty regular and average for a while, like $60, right? And this is the first time we've seen a substantial jump. Not a jump to 70, but a jump to freaking $80 for a game. In Mario Kart World of all games, right? For $80, it just seems a little bit ludicrous. The article goes on to say, despite AAA games continuing to expand in development costs each year, and I do believe they spent hundreds of millions of dollars on that new Grand Theft Auto 6 that's about to come out later this year. I understand that, but that's freaking Grand Theft Auto 6, not Mario Kart. And the article goes on again to say, other publishers are likely to follow Nintendo's pricing lead. I hope not. Over-adjusting prices could do more harm than good, especially with inflation, tariffs. People are struggling as it is. You know, the cost of groceries and everything like that going up and up and up and up. You know, the one thing that we used to escape from all of life's downsides and crap is video games. And now video games, we're even being scalped for video games. The one thing that we enjoy to escape reality, we're having to shell out a crap ton more money for. And obviously the writer says, my biggest concern behind Nintendo changing its price model without noticeable consequences is the ripple effect that will likely affect the gaming industry as a whole. After PS5's exclusives like Demon's Souls, Spider-Man Miles Morales starting to set the bar for $70 price tags, more and more studios started adopting this trend in recent years. Even if not every publishing studio has jumped on the $70 bandwagon just yet, Nintendo raising the bar even further to $80 and possibly beyond with their digital upgrades could easily normalize the trend across the board. It's clear that bigger price tags don't always make for better games. And I think, you know, if I don't think any of us are going to be ready to accept $80 games, and it would be a little bit easier if games felt like they added enough content, added enough to justify paying for the increased cost. But if games are going to stay the same, if not get worse, and include more transactions and more DLC and microtransactions, obviously paying $80 for the base game before microtransactions and DLC, it just seems a little bit unjustified to me. And especially games like Monster Hunter Wilds, right, that came out and had countless issues and bugs. You know, we're seeing games come out that have game-breaking bugs on day one. They've raised their price to like $80. They've been delayed in development time. And these developers have the nerve to charge $70, $80 plus dollars plus microtransactions, release unfinished games. It just feels like we're getting a raw deal right now. And we've seen recent releases like Oblivion, the Oblivion remaster, and it's going for like $50 or something, which is pretty good for what you're getting. And it's making the rounds right now. And I'll be playing it on stream probably soon, or I'll be posting videos of my gameplay on the channel. So come follow me, like, subscribe for that. It'll be my first playthrough of Oblivion. I'm super excited for it, and I'm hoping it makes its way to Switch too. I really do. But yeah, anyways, guys, that's all. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. As per usual, I look forward to and love reading your comments. Also, check out our 24-hour stock tracking stream to get alerted when Switch 2 releases or pre-orders open up. Check the links down below in the video description for Switch 2, Switch 2 accessories, a bunch of really great deals. And obviously, like and subscribe, click the bell icon. It really means a lot. We cover Switch 2 on this channel every day. I'll see you in the next one. I'm Blazed, okay? Peace out. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week.
Let's go.